Come join us on this hazy ride of you coming up next.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, we're back.
A Daisy. We're going down to the final 3 episodes.
I am excited about it.
8 was crazy, and we're going to get into it soon. Welcome to episode 8 of You, Fear and Loathing in Beverly Hills. And I think I felt the fear and the loathing.
I sure did.
I wasn't in Beverly Hills, though, but we're close enough, right? I am Taquaila Jackson. I'll be your revenge plot for this evening's cast. And then we also have my co-host, the beautiful and lovely Adaize, who is not only our plot predictor, but she's also going to give us some news and just a little crazy segments going on later on this evening. So, Adaize, tell me, what are your overall thoughts of the episode?
It was the trippiest episode I think that
It
we've
really
had
was.
thus far between both seasons.
Yes.
This is the excitement I was waiting for. Okay, because, the first 7 episodes or so, they were really developmental. Is that word, developmental?
Yeah.
It was developing. We had some, good moments,
Right.
but this entire episode was something else. So I'm really excited to talk about it.
I think I'm with you on that. From last season and this season, they do have to kind of give you enough meat of the story in order to get the twists and turns that come at the end. And when they start to come, they come just out of the woodworks. They come left and right. And so part of me, while even watching, I felt like I was high at home. Like, what did I just see? Or what did I miss? Or what just happened? So in the midst of trying to get through this hazy ride, I want to talk about mirrors at first. And mirrors being like symbolic for the relationships throughout the show. I want to get into, we've seen a lot more of Joe and his mom, young Joe and his mom. And my first question is, are they both killers? Because we see that she's dead, but we don't know why.
Yes.
And don't know if, did Joe kill his mom because he wanted to get away from his dad, that he wanted to be with her only, or he was scared, or what happened, to her and her death. So hopefully we get to see that more. But I feel like Joe is starting to see a lot more of himself and his mom, or the things that have triggered who he is today from the relationship with his mom. What do you think about that?
Yeah, a common thread in a lot of psycho thrillers where we find serial killers. I can name like a bunch of shows, I believe, like Dexter and stuff like that.
You can just start,
Right, where it's always something in the childhood that starts. The Bates Motel, which I just finished as well.
Oh, yes.
Where it's always something traumatic that happens in their childhood that causes them to be killers. And they're killers for specific reasons, whether it's because they take on this other identity that makes them feel stronger because they've been weak, or it's because they feel vengeful and they feel like they have to protect other people. We see Joe is always protecting other people because he has this hero complex. Yeah, he's a killer, so he doesn't really protect that many people, does he? And he had we saw little flashes of what happened in his childhood as well. So I'm not sure if I guess we'll find out if he exactly mirrors his mom and what his mom has done.
I hope we get more of that too before at least the end of the season.
Yes.
Because it's a big story of how he developed and what he went through, now who he is and how he looks for love and clings to it so hard.
Yes.
We're starting to understand a little bit more of the why.
Yes.
And like you said, he does kill in the name of love, in which I think for the most part it is good natured. I think he does kill in his right mind, that he's doing it for love, to protect whoever he's dating or himself or whatever the case may be. But also, speaking of another mirrored relationship, we now see that him and 40 kind of have a common interest. While they were on this trippy ride, 40 tells him how he kills Sophia, the Aldor, was it? When they were au pair. Thank you. When they lived, when they were younger, he thought to him was in a love relationship. So when that is revealed, do you think there's a common interest now between the two of them, that Joe can finally have somebody to open up to about some of the things he's done, or no?
Yeah, I do think that. I don't think he was ever looking for his common thread with 40, because they kind of were forced into a friendship because of love. And
That's
I think
true.
Loki does have a little love for 40, but I think that revealing itself to him maybe makes Joe feel like maybe there's another crazy person just like him, or makes definitely say that's a mirror. It might not be your clearest mirror, but they do have a common thread. as we see. So,
and I think she's getting to see more of what she doesn't want to be through her mom, and how she's trying to kind of separate herself from that. Yeah. What effect do you think Love's mom has on her?
I would say that's probably the most direct mirror, because let's be real, Love is 40's mom.
Yeah.
Okay, right? Like, that's her twin, yet she treats him like her child, and she looks after him like her child, but she doesn't make it seem like it's a child thing. It's like my womb mate kind of thing.
Right.
Like, I have to look out for him, and we find out, like, there's a reason why she has to look out for him, because it's not just, oh, this is my twin.
Yeah.
There's some childhood stuff that she just feels like she has to step up and take care of him, even though they're the same age.
Right.
And they went through life together. And then we meet the parents, and I think we were all trying to predict, like, what kind of parents are these? Are they psychos? Or did they do something where they left them and they had to fend for themselves? That's not the case. But we see that her mom is just not the best mother to both of them.
Right.
Maybe not even the best mother to 40. I mean, just because you're overprotective and you're coddling doesn't make you a great mom.
That's true.
So I think that definitely affects Love's perspective of what motherhood should be like. Right. And it'll probably affect her one day when she has a kid. Hopefully she turns that into something positive.
That's true. Because they say it's like a generational thing that could happen. And because she was psychologically abused, physically abused by her mother, and mentally. So you'd hope that she works on those things so that it doesn't pass down to her children and continue on. Because when you're in that as a child, how much it hurts and affects you. So you wouldn't purposely want to put that on your child, correct?
Right.
I think this is a fine time, just before we get into a little bit more of the after show, that Adaze has a special message for our viewers.
I just want to thank you guys so much for viewing us and making us the ESPN of TV Talk. If you are on iTunes, please give us 5 stars. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know how you feel about the current episode. Join us in the live chat. We are here because you guys are there. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we love to be here.
As always, just join us in the chat. We like to get involved. We like to hear your perspectives, because sometimes there are things that we don't even think of or come up with throughout the show. So please come chat with us. The more the merrier, always. So I just want to talk about the second part of, well, first and foremost, do you think Joe can change?
No.
Do you think he will change?
No. This is season 2, guys.
No.
I mean, come on. If you ain't gonna stop killing after the first one, I just, once a killer, always a killer. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Once a something, always a something. That's how I feel.
Okay. I'll take that with you. That's your feelings and your thoughts. We're going to ride with that. Because I was so furious when Delilah found the key. And now she's, what were we calling Storage Will? Now she's Storage Delilah. Yes. And I was so furious that she had put herself in this predicament. I think Joe is true in their relationship that he is going to release her. Mm-hmm. But what do you think about that?
I think that Joe doesn't kill until he has to. And he tends, aside from obviously Beck, he tends to kill people he doesn't have an affinity for.
Right.
So I think he really does like Delilah. And I think that, he will avoid at all costs to kill Delilah. I mean, he really didn't mean to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't even him. It was her doing her research, being an investigative journalism that she is, or just a journalist, gossip journalism, journalist, that she was putting clues together. She found the key and got curious, but now that curiosity has landed her cage.
Yes.
And I'm scared for her.
He's a circumstantial murderer.
Yeah,
so, exactly. He doesn't really want to kill you, but if you get in his way, he will. But Delilah's a little bit different.
Right.
She's in his way. But I think he really doesn't want to. I think he loves her as much as he could love her. Like, he loves her. He loves her sister. Okay, he likes her. He likes her sister.
Right.
So I think he'll let her free.
I hope so. I hope this is another Will. And first of all, I hope this is another Will situation, that he will go and Delilah will keep her mouth shut, won't tell Officer benefits Fincher. With friends. Yeah, Officer Finch. And she will save her life, because I really like her and Ellie in the story. Hopefully we get to see more development with them, but I like them in the storyline and being neighbors with Joe. I like their budding friendship that's progressing, or was progressing. But when he gave her when he locked her up with the wrist and it had a timer off to come down to, I think that was a way for him to show, like, just trust me. And he leaves the door open, though.
Yes.
That's the part where I'm nervous, because I feel like somebody's going to, I think it's going to be Candace. This is early prediction, we'll say that. But I think it's going to be Candace that's going to come in and, like, harm her or try to set Joe up now, especially on top of being paid to go away.
Yes.
I feel like something's going to happen to Delilah, and I don't want it to.
Well, something has to always happen because this is the show. I just think it was pretty cool that he even had a timer handcuffs. That means that he planned ahead for this. Like, obviously he didn't plan for Delilah, but he knew that there's going to be someone he's going to hold captive that he wants to let go in time for him to escape. I mean, that's why you would have a timer on it and let the door open, So I thought it was interesting he even had those kind of handcuffs. I guess there's no other way to find someone. Like, because I was thinking, maybe he would have regular handcuffs and then leave the door open. But then who would find someone in a storage locker? You'd have to have handcuffs that released her so she can relieve herself.
Right.
Yeah, so it's hard to give Joe kudos because he's just such a psycho, but, like, that's nice of you.
Yeah.
Just a little clap.
It's a little thing. And I always feel, like, so involved with him because you know, the two angels, or the angel and the devil, like they say, on one shoulder. He wants to do right. He wants to do right. He loves her as a friend. He doesn't want Ellie to be by herself. But then on the other hand, he's like, but again, it's always a main focus of who he's in love with and how he's going to protect that love.
And himself.
So I'm a little nervous. And himself, definitely. Let's talk a little bit about 40 and Love's codependency. And how do you think, is there any healthy relationships that we've seen so far in this season based on their codependency? Have you seen anything healthy about it?
Based on 40 and his
Love's,
sister.
yeah.
I, off the top of my head, I couldn't think of a single thing. They're way too involved in each other's lives.
Yeah.
I'm very close with my siblings as well, and I can't imagine being any closer to the point where it's something like that type of relationship, because then it affects her everyday moves affects his. Well, no, I don't think her everyday moves affects his. His every move affects her.
Right.
Which is not like it should be balanced out, but it shouldn't even be like that at all. But I just don't see it as healthy. And he's like a man-child as it is, and I think it's because of the coddling and the enabling, and he kind of knows in the back of his mind that his sister's always going to have him. Before we really even got to know what that dynamic was like, when we met 40, it was kind of like, what? Why is he like this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was very childish. He's kind of just like, whatever. Like, typical spoiled rich brat who doesn't know what he's doing but, points his finger around and tells people what to do. And we learn the reason why he's like that. He's grown up really rough and also very protected. Yeah. So I just don't see any healthy aspect at all with that.
And so it's safe to say that you would agree with Love's friends as well as Joe that their codependency is the reason why she can't fully live her life and move on. Do you think it will come a time where Love is going to have to choose between Love and 40?
I would say so because 40 gets into her actual love life in general. Like, he wants to know who she's with and if you're banging my sister, and he wants to know the details. He finds that he has to be buddy with Joe simply because he was with her. And I think also for Love, it seems like she kind of likes being in that role.
As the one to...
Like, I feel like Love likes being, like... his
go-to.
Yeah.
Needed.
And she feels needed that way. Mm-hmm. And she, like, automatically defaults to it. Not even, like... I don't see her complaining, like, gotta stay 40 again. Gotta go see... I think she's like, no, I just gotta go. Like, she likes that feeling. So, in order for her to grow and find love and do her own thing, she needs to be fulfilled in another way and cut that cord.
That's true.
I think from 40. So it's a two-way street for me, for them.
I can agree with you on that. I just hope when we see them going to the storage and 40 gives Joe the little leaf or the flower, the rose maybe it was, off the side of his head.
Carnation.
Yeah. He's like, when you bang Delilah, make sure you think of me. And there's always been something throughout the season that makes me think 40 might be into Joe. And it's not as much as like comic relief, but I feel like he might. I don't know if he's into Joe or he just wants to have that presence in their relationship, so he tries a little bit harder in their life, but hopefully more of that will be to come soon enough as well. Yes. But we'll continue on with Adaze giving us a special news segment.
Yes. So in an article by Yahoo Lifestyle, Penn Badgley tells... In an article by Yahoo Lifestyle, Penn Badgley tells us about his best and worst kiss with his ex-girlfriend, Blake Lively. He says that having a relationship with someone you work with might not be the smartest idea. He says his best kiss was with Blake Lively because at the time they were in love. They were in a relationship, of course. But then when you have to kiss, when you're broken up, it's also going to be your worst kiss. So I wanted to throw it to you and ask you how you feel about co-worker mingling and maybe finding love in the workplace, or maybe not.
I'm not. I don't want it.
No?
I don't do it. No, because of that reason. I don't want to have to hold back on wanting to kiss you when I see you or holding your hand or anything of that nature. But I don't also want it to make us weird if we do happen to break up and we still have to be that close while working.
Yes.
I would be professional, definitely, but there's also that just inside feeling of not wanting to be around a person. Especially for me, when I'm done with a relationship, I'm done.
Yes.
There's no coming back. There's no U-turns, nothing. It's done and over with. So I couldn't do it. How about you?
I agree. I mean, for me, on the other side of it, it's more so I don't want to see the person I'm with every single day. Where do you find that I miss you moments?
Yeah.
And you see each other every day. It's not fresh. You just, oh God, like it's you again. In my 9 to 5, and then we spend time together after work as well.
Right.
So I just don't think it's a good idea. And of course, if you break up, that dynamic of working with this person, especially if you work directly with this person, how uncomfortable is that?
That is.
0 out of 10 would not recommend, guys.
I'm with you on that. I'd have to say no. But, I've heard people that it works well for, and... a
lot of people do find their husbands and wives at work, and I feel like afterwards one person ends up leaving.
Yeah,
which I think is always great because you need that separation.
I'm glad you did say that because I would get tired too. Like you say, you need that I miss you. That's the things that kind of excite me in a relationship. The good thing I could probably say, one positive would be for me with that I'd have a driver to work every day, to and from work. That would be the great thing.
That's
because I don't like
true.
driving and I can't stand the traffic. So that would be the great thing for me. Thank Adaze for that news segment and great topics. If you're in the chat or you want to join in, let us know if you could date someone at work, and even so, what are your best and worst kiss moments? We'd love to hear that. Adaze, do you have any final thoughts about episode 8, this trippy ride we took with 40 and Joe?
I mean, I would say just don't do drugs. You know what I mean? So far, I haven't seen any great outcomes from doing drugs or hiring people to keep you in a room.
That was crazy. Yeah. Or, I mean, if you decide to do drugs, not that I'm saying do them, but if you decide to, just have somebody that's going to be accountability partner. Right. Somebody that's going to be able to tell you what you did or didn't do the next day.
Writing the time on your wrist and all that. I wouldn't recommend, but... in all seriousness, this is, I think, where you is getting the ball rolling.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm very anxious to see how everything is going to play out with, 40's relationship with Joe. He's drugged him. Yeah. I want to know how that's, I don't know how he's going to turn out. Joe has to get out of here. Right. He has to beat it. We don't know what's going to, Delilah is not, it's just, we have to know what happened to Delilah. What's going on, and so next episode's gonna tell us. We have 2 episodes left. Yeah, but I'm hoping they get to it next episode. We see what happened to Delilah and how it's gonna proceed and where Joe's gonna go.
I do too, and I also want to know more about Joe's mom. I'm interested in that angle now too, of their relationship. And again, not that we want you to do drugs, but if you happen to be out there doing them, have an accountability partner, 1, and 2, a safe word. Remember the safe word. Have a safe word. But as we close out the show, again, I am Taquela. You can find me at Taquela_I am.
And my name is Adaze. You can find me at Instagram at 1Adaze, ADAEZE.
We'll see you on the next You After show. Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.